World Arts Academy provides professional development for emerging, practicing, and master dance artists, teachers, administrators, and scholars through advocacy and professional development opportunities that advance dance as a performing art in educational sectors and communities throughout the world. Our faculty teaches diverse dance genres in a variety of environments including, but not limited to, K through 12 schools, dance studios, colleges, and community centers. World Arts Academy envisions dance reimagined, reflective of our differences and supportive of all who dance and teach dance. A world where dance education is equitable, accessible, valued, and preserved. Please visit our website at worldartsacademy.com to see our impressive faculty, view our workshop calendar, enjoy distance learning, or help our mission by becoming a patron.
The Danceology podcast interviews the great masters of dance, the working professionals starring in today's most exciting shows, and the rising stars ready to amp up the craft. I'm your host, Edyta Sliwinska from Dancing with the Stars. Join me as I dive into the world of dance, uncovering unique stories and the fascinating personalities of industry professionals on Danceology. Welcome to the Danceology podcast. I'm your host, Edyta Sliwinska. With me in the studio is my producer, Todd. Before I introduce our guest, I do need to let you know that we were experiencing some heavy rains during recording of this episode. The conditions were terrible, and so I apologize in advance for the poor recording quality in places. But let's get to it. Our guest today is Dave Scott. Dave is a legend in a hip-hop dance world. You might know him best from dance films like You Got Served or Step Up. He choreographed also for So You Think You Can Dance and Dancing with the Stars, and this is just a short list of his many accomplishments. I will be talking to Dave about all that and about his beginnings growing up in Compton and developing his dance skills in actual, real-life dance battles. Welcome to the show, Dave.
It sounds so good when you say my accolades, Tom.
Dave, your resume is very impressive. And I must say that your life is very inspiring. You choreographed over 20 movies and TV shows with no prior formal training. This is quite remarkable. You're completely self-taught. But first, I want you to take us back to that 12, 15-year-old Dave. I know you grew up in Compton. Tell us what your life was like at that period of time, and how on earth did you get into dancing?
Okay, well, I'll start off by saying, my life, a lot of people say this for recognition, and, coming up from the hood and all that kind of stuff. My life coming up was hard, but it made me the gentle person that I am today. But it's just humble upbringing. But it's just you're put in position to occupy yourself. You get really creative. You can take stuff apart and put it back together and dance, break people's moves down that you see on TV and put it on yourself. So that's pretty much coming up from hardship. It just made me more creative, I should say.
Well, you started dancing quite late. You were 15. I mean, I started when I was 10, and I consider that late. I felt like I was always catching up. Tell me, how did that happen? What nudged you into that direction?
Well, I mean, growing up, there was always music in the house. My mom, she cleaned the house with Motown playing, so I'm like a Motown kid. And initially, it's just an R&B head. And I say 15 only because I felt serious about dancing. Dancing like my whole life, just moving. But I started to pay attention to particular moves that when I felt like, oh yeah, I'm a dancer. That whole battle mentality. that kind of thing. So it was about 15 straight. And from there, it was it was growing up. When you battle, you pretty much mimic the other person's moves, and you graduate by enhancing them and putting them on yourself to a different level. Pretty much like when you take class today, you put your fingerprint on it. That's your initial personality. But growing up battling, it was like you got to cut them. You have to be absolutely better. You have to have your finale is it has to be more juice than what they brought that last time. So that's the kind of outcome that and and competitive nature that I grew up. So,
All right, so Dave, I want to hear more about it. The dance battle. Okay, I grew up in Poland. There was no such a thing as dance battle. I actually did not know much about hip hop before moving to United States. I remember the first time I saw someone dance was my husband. He's a dancer. He took some hip hop classes, came to a studio and was trying to teach some of our students some moves. And I'm sure they were super simple. I thought it's absolutely the coolest thing ever, comparing to us, ballroom dancers with our perfect posture, slick back hair, dancing our cha-cha. You guys were so free in your movement. It was also creative and almost intuitive and unstructured. Ballroom dancing has lots of rules, lots of structure. So tell me, how does it happen in a neighborhood? You guys get together? Explain to me the process. This is very far from my culture.
well, you kind of practice on your own when it comes to dancing. Coming up self-taught. It's a lot of people that grown up. It's just the street dances. It's self-taught. You have a structure that's the street. B-boys, they have a structure, and they pretty much pick up different tools from battling. So if they get out there and their blow up is one way, and somebody's blow up is bigger than theirs, they're going home and practice a bigger blow up so they can come back and and kill that person. So that's how it is in the streets. So you kind of have formats, and it's coming back now a little bit. It's street dances that had names. Majority of them had names. You got like the Running Man, and the RoboCop, and different things like that. The Cabbage Patch, and all these different things. The Kid and Play. We take those dances and turn it into something that belongs to you yourself. So you'll do like the Running Man, and then start doing something else. And then MC Hammer started doing the Running Man differently, and people start calling it the Hammer. So and crab walk. And so what it is taking these initial dances and turning them into your signature moves and putting that on it. You kind of format or formulate your style. You formulate your style. Like if your style is like more flowy, or I'm a hitter, it's like one of those things. Or you're a mix of all of that. That's how the battling kind of made you a better dancer. It's just
all right. All right. This might be a stupid question, but stupid questions lead us to discoveries. I want to know about the logistic of it. I want to know, how does that work? You grow up in a neighborhood, you come back from school, you drop your backpack, and what? A bunch of, tell me the process. That's what I want to know. Is it all improvised? Is it organized?
It's all improvised. And sometimes, like with B-boys, it would start off on the street. A lot of B-boys, they did street performing for money, different things like that. Another crew would come by and just start busting on their platform, and that becomes a battle. Or you're at a club or at a party, house party, a little club party, a church event. It doesn't matter. It's just it's an event that has music and you can dance. So those different outlets, you're ready to bust. It's not like on the street, you see somebody walking by and you go, oh, I know who that is. Oh, you know who that? Oh, yeah. And walk up to them and just start busting. No, it's one of those when you're in the right place at the right time, and it's a battle. Or it can be somebody has your name. Like your name is D Nice, and somebody else is claiming D Nice and they're a dancer as well. You battle them for that name. To own that
so
name.
when that happens, do you have a routine that you kind of worked out, or you kind of go with the flow?
You have a format when that happens. You have a format like, okay, this is what I'm going to start off with. But once you start, it's improvisation. It's like you start and it's like you kind of black out.
It takes you to a different
It
place.
takes you to a whole different page, and you don't know what the DJ is going to play. You don't know what's going to come after the scratch. You don't know. It's like, and it's like, oh, and it's all about crowd participation. You got that crowd going. That's how you win. You can have the worst move, but you got the crowd hype. You got that battle.
All right, so let's talk about the stigma of boys don't dance. I have a 10-year-old. He's majorly into sports, but his mom and dad were dancers, and he likes to perform. Whether it's dancing, singing, he has that entertainer in him. He likes to entertain. He enjoys it. Now, every class I would take him to, it would be all girls. And he thinks it's just not cool. He wants to fit in. He wants to be like his buddies. Have you ever dealt with that kind of challenge of thinking, hey, maybe dancing is not a cool thing to do? And, given that you did grow up in a tough neighborhood, you grew up in a neighborhood where people will get shot and stabbed on the street. The image of being tough must have been important.
Yeah. Me growing up, dancing wasn't, in particular parts, that wasn't the thing to do. It's like you were looked at as being soft, and you're a girl if you dance. You know what I mean, like that kind of thing. Me growing up, but it's one of those things until they saw it, they judged you. So it was always like a show and prove kind of thing. So if somebody just said, oh yeah, this is Dave, he's such and such, he's a dancer, they automatically go to like what you do, ballet, ballroom, anything like that. They're like, oh, you dance. They don't go to like a pop or b-boy, anything like that. They go to what.
Whoa, wait a second. So you are saying that ballroom dancing and ballet is not for boys?
Not when you're a street dancer. But no, my thing is, it started off as just street, but I learned, like, meeting my different peers, how to salsa, how to do, ballroom dancing, and working on So You Think You Can Dance. You kind of like integrate all these different styles into your style. That's when you're self-taught, you kind of bring all of that to the forefront and learn from your peers and put all of that into it. But first coming up, and you learn and self-taught street dancing, you don't want to be called a ballroom dancer or a ballet dancer. No, that's not cool. I mean, it's cool today, but back then it wasn't cool. And no, it wasn't a lot of female dancers, but the ones that did dance, hip hop, they got off. It was they were competing with boys, so it was like they had to put up an extra 3 notches.
Right, but what would be your advice to a kid that wants to dance or wants to do something in a performing arts sphere, but does not pursue that particular interest because of social pressure? What would be your advice?
Well, my advice to someone that actually loves to perform, first off, a dancer, I feel like all dancers are artists in themselves, period. I think artists learn a lot of their style and their persona from dancers, because dancers are almost like the gypsies of the entertainment industry. So my advice to like a young boy, like I said to other different boys, all dancers, all people like attention, especially boys, from other girls and other guys as well. But
use it to get attention?
Yes, you have to. Yeah, I would say use all of this to get attention. Even if you play sports, the agility helps you with your sports, with soccer, with football, with basketball, with baseball. It's using different parts of your body that you wouldn't use exercising for a particular sport. So I would say to that entertainer is to entertain. it doesn't matter if it's a class of all girls and you're the only boy. That's an advantage right there. So if you can entertain an entire class of girls, you're one up already. So now try and show and prove to a class full of guys and try and stand out. It's all competitive, and I would say keep that competitive heart and keep that competitive drive. Try to be the best at everything that you do and show off as much
Show
as you
off.
can.
I like that.
Show
Show
off.
off. Exactly. I have another question. Growing up, I know you have a degree in business, but you dropped out of school initially to join one of the major artists tour. Was it important for you to continue education? Now, looking back, would you make that decision again?
As far as education, yes, I would make the decision again. I don't have any.
You would drop out of college and go on a tour.
Yes.
All right. But
Only because
explain to us.
for me, I feel like life, actually living, is the biggest education. Um, there's a lot of things that I learned in school as far as book smart, business smart. But even if going to college right now or going to anything technical school, all of the different basics that you learn, things change that day. They change daily. So you're actually learning more when you get out of school. And me in particular, being on the creative side, there's a lot of people that are getting employed that have never spent a day in college, but they're so technically savvy that they can get a job immediately. So me, the particular field that I was in, it was just I was in sports. So it was like sports medicine or sports, everything sport driven, because I was just playing basketball, and business driven. The business things I can learn like on my own or in everyday life, or just online. So I wouldn't go to college for those particular things. I would still drop out.
So you felt like you had an opportunity and you jumped on it, and that was way more important. That was the school you wanted to go to.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I don't have any regrets for that, for dropping out. I just feel like that was a huge opportunity, and that was just a toe in the door, just to get it started. And even if it wasn't the biggest thing, it was a thing that was presented to me. I said, okay, let's go. And let's just do it.
Well, since we are at it, you worked your way up through concert tours and music videos. That's maybe later. Let's talk about these experiences. I went on 5 Dancing with the Stars tour. I produced my own tour. The live on a tour is a completely different animal. It's not for everyone. But there you are. How old were you when you started touring? 20 something? 22.
Yeah.
That must have been a blast for you. Tell me about that experience.
Me starting the tour, that was I think the biggest thing ever in life, because it's all independent. It's, even though it's a tour structure, you got a bus, you got the hotels, you have your travel itinerary, you have people looking out for you, overseeing. You're actually away from home. You're going to different states, and you're doing adult things. It's not like a school pattern where you have these particular classes. You have a job you have to do every night or every other night. You have to travel. You have your lobby calls. You have a format, and so it's one of those things that you actually are having fun, a ball, and going to different states, different countries, different places, just doing what you love. It's like amazing. It's amazing. It's one of those things that, how people have to go to work and they just do not look forward to that cubicle. Even tired or sick, I looked forward to going on that stage because everything disappears. you might start sneezing and some mucus after, but I'm getting on that stage and I'm going to show off. Period.
I mean, I completely agree. What's better thing to do than do what you love and then get validated every single night by a crowd of people applauding you? That's just the best thing in life.
Yeah, well, it's the best. I think it's not, it's the, I know a lot of times they're cheering for, majority of the time, they're cheering for the artist, but you're actually, something to see while you're up on the stage. You're an artist while you're up there because you're actually performing and you're doing a lot more than what the actual artist is. And I mean, I don't know how it would be to toured with Michael Jackson because everybody's watching him. It's one of those things. But even with Michael, I look at the dancers. I look at to see that structure. But it's just phenomenal. Just that feeling. Just the feeling of the screams. Even though they're for the artist, I feel like they're for me. At the same time. But it's just good to be a part of it.
When you got on your first tour, was that the first time you knew that dancing can become your career, or that appeared to you earlier?
No.
When did you start thinking about dancing as a proper career?
That first tour when I left school.
The first tour.
I never thought to make money dancing. I knew other people that were dancing that I was learning from watching TV. I knew they were making money, but I never thought I would be able to make money with a hobby because it was still a hobby to me. I danced for fun, danced for competition, danced to try and win, It's just, crowd appreciation, but never for my
on the tour, you started making money, but you also danced next to other dancers, probably trained.
Yeah.
What was it? Did you feel that the lack of your formal training hurt you in any way, held you back in any way? Have you ever compared yourself to other people and said, gosh, if I started dancing earlier, I could do this, this, and that? No, I don't know if that applies to hip hop at all.
I don't feel like it not having formal training hurt me. I'm always nervous with every to this day. I'm nervous with teaching class. I'm nervous because I want them to like it. I want them to like the way I move. I just want some gratification. And with touring, dancing with other dancers, some have been on different tours before. This is my first. I was super nervous because me doing it, I don't know how I look. They tell me how I look, the people that are watching. So I'm super nervous, wanted to know if I match up. Maybe I'm too tall. Genuine's only 6'1.5", 6'2", I'm 6'4". The other dancer, he's only like 6 feet. Do I look oblong? Am I just standing out like a sore thumb? So those are the things I thought about. Not really if I have enough training. I just want to know if I'm keeping up, that kind of thing. And that's like to this day, I still.
Looking back, did you keep up?
I think I kept up.
I think you did. Looking at how your career unfolded, I think you did. So you talked a little bit about your height, and you're 6'4", correct?
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, all the other guys, or maybe 6'1", maybe 6 feet, all the greatest ones. If you look, Michael Jackson, Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire, these guys are way under 6 feet tall. And, they're just, apart from the fact that it might look odd, have you felt that the height had in a physical way, could hold you back? I mean, there's so much more of you to move. Like your shoe size is probably, 15 or so. How do you do fast footwork with a body like that. Is this something that you discovered, and maybe that's why you turn more into choreography rather than you are known as a choreographer?
Yeah.
Is
I
that
feel like,
your way of reinventing yourself, maybe?
yeah, height was a big thing for me with every crew or partner that I dance with. I'm just the tallest, so I've always felt that I would have to go from up to down quicker. I would have to move my feet quicker. I love like quick movement, and so I feel like it's harder for a tall person to dance on the levels of a shorter person. And so that was my challenge, and I conquered it. I was like, okay, I got to be able to get down, get back up, get back down, just as fast as someone a lot shorter than me. But my thing that kept like being on my mind, tough on my mind, was being so tall. Who can partner up with me? I don't have a partner. This was back in the day. There's a lot of dancers, taller dancers now that I've discovered that I've used a lot. But then I like the lines of a taller dancer. I love the lines when we do big movement. It's super huge. So not to take away from any dancers on the shorter aspect, because everybody that's honing in on their craft, they're amazing. But it was a problem for me not having a partner. And so that's what made me break off into I just want to be a creator. I'll just be behind the scenes. But I still have to do it to show choreography. So it was kind of hard for shorter people. Sometimes they're like, I can't dance that big. Yes, you can. and like, well, how you move that fast? Because I'm trying to keep up with you.
That is a thing. I mean, I will tell you honestly, on Dancing with the Stars, I danced with Jason Taylor, and he's a defensive end. He was a defensive end in Miami Dolphins. I was super excited when I found out I'm dancing with him, because football players, there's something about sports that people who are athletes have certain discipline, agility, dynamic in their movement. And football players proved to be very successful in Dancing with the Stars. There are a lot of them that won. Emmett Smith won. Rashid Jennings, and I think Antonio Brown did really well. But there's countless of football players that I can see being great dancers. But a day before I met Jason, I found out he's 6'5". And I thought to myself, well, that's it. There's no way this guy can move. There's absolutely no way. Now, he proved to be amazing. We came second, and we would win the show. If not, Christy Yamaguchi, who's an Olympic ice skater, was on that season as well. And obviously, there's no way you can beat her. She was amazing. So there was a lesson there for me. And I feel for other dancers who are extremely critical about their bodies and physical abilities. And they think, oh, I'm too tall, I'm too small, I'm too big, my legs are not long enough, or whatever it is. I feel like there is a lesson in it. And I feel that what you proved, you're so tall, you figured out, okay, maybe I can't partner up with anyone. I'll go and start choreographing. Mm-hmm. And that is what I call a perfect reinvention and a perfect way to roll with your career. So I applaud you for that. I think that's incredibly inspiring. Mm-hmm. And tying to that, we are going to be celebrating a 20th anniversary of You Get Served.
Yeah.
And this movie, I bet, has changed your life forever. I recently watched the opening scene, which I believe you choreographed. It looks as cool as ever. It's fresh. It's original. It's just super cool. Tell me about how this movie changed your life, and maybe how it changed the industry in general.
Well, it changed my life in ways that it's kind of hard to explain. I grew up on Breaking Beach Street, those particular films, and to get the opportunity, first off, to work with or put together the group B2K and kind of mold them and structure them to the group that they became, to get offered a movie where I have open range to just dance and create. And it was an opportunity to just, I mean, go off. Go off. Even though after I did it and, on to the next scene, everything was so old to me, but nobody had seen it yet. So I just wanted to keep changing. But it was one of those things that my nerves kicked in, my nervousness kicked in, and it made me come up with different things. I just wanted to do things with the dancers' bodies, the b-boys' bodies, the stuff that I see in cartoons, the stuff that I see in reading comics, seeing in movies, like action movies. I just want to put that on the dancer. So it's one of those things that in my head, it was incredible, and then it was dull. And then other people were looking at it like before it came out, like, you're about to change the whole game for dancing. I said, you think so? Like, yes. The CEO then, Clint Culpepper for Screen Gems, he came, he said, this is going to change the entire world with dancing. And I said, I don't know. He said, trust me. While he was saying that, I just finished watching the trailer because we were working on the tour, B2K's tour, right after we wrapped up the movie. I'm watching the trailer with tears in my eyes. And he's like, you want to change this? I'm like, you think so? And that it did. And I had that same feeling on the 30th of January when the movie came out, the 20-year anniversary. I was like, it's just one of those things that it will never go away. It's just you get bubbles in your stomach. You look at the comments that people hit, the post went viral. And just people just like, oh, this changed my life. This changed. I started dancing because of this. It's just one of those things that's so surreal.
Isn't that the best comment that you can get? I started dancing because of that. When you inspired someone to actually pursue their passions or interests, I think that's the best thing in the world. Yeah. All right, so tell me, you went crazy, and you went, as you say, with your creativity. Were you ever told in the process that, hey, Dave, tone it down, we can't do that, or we can't do this? Or were you given a total creative freedom?
Well, I was given a total creative freedom, but I was told to tone it down because I put myself in You Got Served, and I had a crew. I had Amina Nafisa, Fly. I had Brian Friedman, Tony Rich and Tony Talawega. This is my crew. And so I'm supposed to lose, but my choreography was out of control, but I'm choreographing everyone else's piece as well. But I have to choreograph mine to lose. And they looked at mine when I presented my crew after everybody did their thing. And Chris Stokes said, we can't use that because we don't win with that choreography. So I had to go that day and tone it down and cut some stuff out.
Too bad.
I was a little overzealous.
Right. Yeah. They should have changed the script. Yeah. So tell me, was it filmed in LA? The movie, was it filmed in Los Angeles?
Yes, it was filmed here.
I just, out of curiosity, I have a quick question. What was the casting process? You used a lot of talent. There were scenes when you had tens of dancers. Where'd you get your talent from? Was it like a regular casting call? Did you look for people? Tell me more about it.
Well, the casting process, it started with me with the script. So I went through the script and highlighted and folded the corners of the pages with all the dance scenes. And so I took all the dance scenes and then I created the crews. I said, this crew is going to be all girls. This crew is going to be 2 girls and 5 guys. This crew's going to be this. And I just leveled out how many dancers that I wanted in each particular crew and kind of gave them an identity for each battle. So I pretty much formatted that first, and then I came up with like 14 crews, and like 14 crews to do this and do that, and then I did an audition and started doing casting. And so I pretty much kind of designed each crew before we did an auditions. And then from the auditions, it kind of graduated a little bit more from where I placed that stamp. So I went with the template, and I kind of like the all girls crew. I kind of put all girls. I'm gonna put a B girl. It was just one of those things that just kept climbing, and that was like one of the most funnest parts as well as like casting and staging.
Auditions.
Yeah, yeah. So
Was it an open casting? Was anyone welcome to audition?
it was
Did you
open.
guys go through
It was
agencies? Open.
open. It was one of the biggest, longest, and funnest auditions ever. And
All right. Did you?
some people I called personally. I was like, would you guys do this movie with me? They're like, I didn't get
Right.
not one no. Everybody, yes, yes, yeah, yeah. I'm like, and that was
No, it sounds
mostly
like
for my crew, and that's why I had to dumb it down.
you guys were too good for this. Well, listen. Your next movie, Stomp the Yard, I believe might have had an impact on your life in a different way. Tell us about that movie. Tell us what it meant to you, and has it changed your life even further? What happened there?
Well, Stomp the Yard was a different beast.
It was just a few years later, right?
Yeah, literally 2 years later, we started production. It was one of those things that Clint Culpepper came to. He said, "I have a script on the table." Clint Culpepper was the CEO of Screenview. He said, "I have a script on the table. So step it. Can you step?" I said, "Of course."
Can you? That's amazing.
I didn't know how, but I told him yes. And then he said, "Well, we put a presentation together this particular date." And I had 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks. And he said, "Put a presentation together." I said, "Okay, I'll learn how to step in that period of time." Oh, God. I put a presentation together. The movie got greenlit right after the presentation. So it was one of those I had to do the casting. I did the same thing I did with You Got Served. And I pretty much formatted the identity of the crew, the Mu Gammas and the Thetas. It's like, okay, these are older, more like seniors, and they're more traditional with the stepping, with the HBCU, right? Like with the Black College, the whole format. The Thetas are the young ones. They put dancing and hip hop in part of their routines and stuff like that. So I did those formats. So it's like 40 guys. So I had to cast 40 guys. So I had to cast a lump of testosterone to go and live together in Atlanta. It was one of the most stressful situations, but rewarding situations. I was so engulfed in it. I wasn't hydrating myself. I wasn't sleeping right, but I was coming up with different things. And we did the opening scene for Stomp the Yard at the end. So the part with Chris Brown, all of that, we rehearsed here in LA, shot Atlanta, and I had the ambulance call on me. I dehydrated my entire body, totally cramped up. At the end of it,
You just forget about the real life needs and the food and the water.
Yeah,
You were feeding on the
so
creative.
I was like killing myself, and they also really start hitting me when the director on the end scene. I had extra rehearsals. I asked for extra rehearsals, and I was doing everything that the director asked me to do. And one of the producers, Eric Paquette, he came to the end, the finale scene, and I was had rehearsed, we had extra rehearsals, the dancers got extra pay, all of that. They approved it, and I did what the director asked. Got up there, and we were doing the scene. Mind you, we have a arena full of people. We're filming it with an arena full of people. I start doing the back and forth, and Eric Paquette, the producer, said, "What is this? It's supposed to be like a battle, not like a college stump back and forth, this and that." The director went off on me like I did what he didn't ask, like went off in public, on the mic, on the stage. And he said, "You have this amount of time for when we change from this side to this side with the lighting to come up with what I asked you for." And I didn't call him out. It was so stressful. I think I started bleeding inside from that point. Literally from that point. So all of the
I'm a
things
little
that-
bit nervous sitting and listening to your account of that. I swear to God, my palms are sweating.
Everybody in all the crews are looking at me like poor Dave is going through this, and they were wondering like, what the hell is he talking about? You're doing what he said. And I just said, calm down. Columbus Short came up to me. He's like, "We cut out so much choreography because of the scenes. Let's pick those choreography bites back up." I said, "Okay, well, remember they cut out this part from that scene. Could you go over here and help them with that? Put that back in." He's like, I got the datas. I said, "Okay, you guys, all of this that was cut here." And I start chopping it up, piecing it up. It became the biggest scene in history.
It was a major damage control. Okay, do you think that the director was right, looking back?
No.
What you would do originally would be better.
No, I think I think he was right for changing it, but I don't think he was right for how he presented it to me. Throwing me under the bus like that was not.
Of course. Yes,
and then
that's never right.
Where you can feel my energy throughout the entire stage after he said it. That the producer Eric Paquette came up to me. He said, "Dave, don't stress. You got this. This is what you do." He said, don't worry about him. Do what you do." Because he was showing off for Eric Paquette. And he said, "Don't worry about Silas. Do what you do." And I said, "Okay." I did what I had to do.
You did a marvelous job. Have you ever worked with him again?
No. Well, there was talks to work again, but he wasn't doing another dance project. It was like, went to a song.
Yeah. I would figure you might not be keeping in touch anymore.
No, he called me to his room and apologized after we chopped it up and leveled it out. We were good. By then, I'm already dead inside.
I bet, and I bet it was the best lesson of your life too. The amount of damage control you had to do, and the amount of quick thinking, pacing things together, it's incredible. But that's what happens with live production. And I know it was a movie, but in that particular scene, you guys had the audience in place. It was like a shooting live thing, like or performing live.
Yes. Like right there, going, oh.
That's why the pressure was on. It
was on. And it felt like I was out there with the guys. Like, okay, it's my turn to go. And then the other side, okay, it's my turn to go again. It's one of those feelings. And I'm off on the side, just watching them just do it. And I'm almost looking through them because I'm in a gaze. I'm that pissed.
All right, so tell me this. You also choreographed Step Up 2 and Step Up 3D. These are incredibly popular film franchises. And by that time, did you feel like you were an established choreographer, did you feel like you had more credibility with the production and the director? Was it at all different than those first big movies when you still had to take what you did from, in public from the director?
No, it kind of felt the same, except when you're working with a different director that have different insight on and different vision for the project, it feels a little different. So working with John Chu, it was his first big film. I saw his work when he was at USC, and he was like super creative. And also, I was working with particular scenes. So the movie was broken down with the scenes. I was given these 4 scenes, and then hi-hat was given these particular scenes. Jamal Sims was given these particular scenes. So it was us working together, but not together. So I have my scenes, I have my rehearsal times, and I have my crew. And my crew was the main crew for Step Up 2. So I have the main crew, the main artist, the main actor and actress, and it was a different kind of competitiveness. I had to tell a story with the dancers still again, but now I don't know what they're doing on their ends, so it has to mesh in some way, shape, or form. So it was so much fun. I couldn't wait to see.
Did you get a little competitive?
Absolutely. And so talking to John, and I'm like, okay, he said, I want to do a rain scene. I said, oh, that would be incredible. So, and he's like, well, how can we get the dancers like dancing outside? We can't have them hurt themselves. And that hazard pay is going to be up here. I said, let's make it carpet. I said, let's get carpet that looks like concrete. And so we got carpet, put the padding underneath the carpet. It was on the concrete, but it looked like concrete, but it was cushion. And so the rain, like, it blinded everybody from seeing that it was. And so that creative part, we were just sparking. I said, make sure the water is warm coming out of the machine. And it was just different things. And it just built up to one of those processes that, oh my God. And I won a couple of awards just for that scene.
I want to rewatch that now. When we finish, I'll watch that. And to be honest with you, my kids have not seen any of these movies, and they're coming to a point that they could. And I'm so excited to sit down and we watch it with them. That is very, very cool. All right, let's move on to the territory that's a little bit closer to my area of expertise. You choreograph So You Think You Can Dance.
Yeah.
Are you the resident choreographer currently?
No.
Or were in a couple of seasons? But
was.
You did quite a lot of work for the show, right?
Yeah, I was.
And you also choreographed a number for Dancing with the Stars. And here's the funny thing. It was season 7. I danced with Jeff Ross. We got kicked out really, really early. So I wasn't involved in that season very much. And when Todd told me that you choreographed for Dancing with the Stars, I had to look back into it. And then I realized, I looked at the number that you choreographed, that it was something completely separate from what we, the pros on the show, did.
Yeah.
Tell me, how did that come about? Was the number your idea? Did you choose the music? Did you choose the dancers? I believe it was pre-taped, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you remember.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a recollection of seeing you guys. We were probably in our trailers getting ready for the live show.
Yeah.
So tell me about your memories from that particular experience.
Well, we had the live crowd, but it was
yes.
Yeah. But it was pre-taped, but it was the Macy's performance. It was done for Macy's. And my particular performance, I named it Magic because I had an idea because I was in a in a different zone. I was looking at this magic shop. Just so happened, I was like, just to do something for my hip hop intensive and for the Pulse. They always have at the end of the season that you do a performance for like it's about 60 kids that's in your particular group, but it was all 2,000 kids all the time. So I was trying to think of a number with the magic, magic tricks. So they called me for the Macy's performance, and I did all the magic stuff. I got magic, different things that make it look like your head's turning around, swallowing knives, and all these different magic things. And I put myself in as the what do you call it? Not the composer, but the ringleader. I put myself in as a ringleader with the top hat, and I had I did the music.
Yeah, your costume was not something you would normally wear, right?
No.
You were like
No,
tight pants.
those tails and that it was pretty grand. But yeah, it was magic. I did the music for Magic. They approved all the music and all the dancers. I cast everything. It was.
So it was all your creative process. That's amazing because you know what? I believe that I think we don't get that much freedom when we work with our celebrities. For one, we don't get to choose the music, and that's the biggest thing. We can suggest the music, but essentially we don't get to choose it because there has to be a mix of certain dances in a show. But tell me, do you think that these dance shows, they were very big for many years? Dancing with the Stars has been around for 18 years right now, which is absolutely unbelievable. So you think you can dance for a while too? Has these shows changed the industry? Do you think that they gave dancers more opportunities? What is the impact of these shows? What do you think on the scene?
I think with all dance on television or on film, it helps the morale of the world. I think dancing played a big part in all of history. In different wars, it was musicals on television. In different worlds in the past, like to these different eras, it was dance and performances on film and on television. But I think the same thing with So You Think You Can Dance and Dancing with the Stars. It came at a powerful moment for that uplifting to watch dance, to watch movement, and it's sexy. And it's a lot of people that probably will never move that way, but it's entertaining to see it. It's entertaining to see the drama and the outfits and the tears and the joy. But I think it put a fire underneath dancers that are not on the show. They're already making it. They're already on tour with major artists, and they're like, oh, I would love to be on that show. So it's one of those things that's just uplifted not only dancers or performers or artists. It uplifted like everyday people, middle America. That's like their favorite show. It's like what soap operas did in the morning. One of those things.
Gosh, but I think that's what dancing is all about. You have the music and you get lost with it. And if you can't give that gift to other people through your performance, that is all, you can wish for. And that is an amazing feeling and an amazing process. I am afraid we are running out of time. Todd, do we have any other questions? I do have millions of questions, if I could.
I just have
Todd?
one thing. Well, yeah, we have a few more minutes. I do want to ask, though, Dave, I heard a rumor that you snuck on set of the House Party movie and are a background dancer in it. Can you confirm if this is true or not?
Did you?
I think I'm frozen. No. Yeah. I snuck on and I didn't sign any paperwork or anything. It just looked like a party scene and I just jumped in it.
That's great. That's great. I think the statute of limitations is up on that being.
I'm a go-getter.
I would have loved to have been on that set.
Dave, tell us where we can find you. Do you have a website? How people can find you on social media? And if there is anything you want to share with your audience and with your fans?
Well, hey, if you want to find me, most of my social media is all the same thing. Website is The Official Dave Scott. And that's my Instagram. That's my Facebook. That's all of those things except TikTok. TikTok is DScott101. But everything else is The Official Dave Scott. I have a lot of things coming up. I'm going to do a tour with my company. It's called Liver Than Live. I've done one event. It sold out in 2 hours. That was right before the pandemic. And so I'm going to do Liver Than Live presents the 20-year anniversary of You Got Served. I'm going to use all that music, that energy. And Liver Than Live is it's a live class, live stream, live interview. Everything's going live, and it's a live DJ and live drummer. So it's giving the feel for the dancers to be on stage, like in a performance, and you can see them live. So that's coming up this year in a few months, in a month. And right now I'm choreographing and directing Omarion's new upcoming tour, Full Circle, with Jeremy Green and Roro. So that's going to be something.
Well, I am looking forward to your tour. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to come and watch. Hopefully you will come to Bay Area. Thank you for a fantastic conversation, Dave. We really appreciate your time. Good luck and hope to talk to you soon.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Danceology podcast. Please be sure to rate and review this episode. If you have questions or comments, you can email us at danceologypodcast@gmail.com. We are also on Instagram and Facebook at Danceology Podcast and available anywhere you listen to podcasts. Thanks for listening.
Metacortex Publishing hopes that you've enjoyed this presentation.
Please take a moment to listen to some other podcast offerings from Metacortex Publishing.
Hi everybody, I'm Amber Rose, the religious hippie, and I host the podcast A Catholic's Perspective. Join me every 2 weeks as I release episodes targeted towards helping young Catholics navigate their ever-changing secular world while staying strong in their faith. Whether you are a Catholic or not, all are welcome here. So if this is something that interests you, feel free to tune in. You can find A Catholic's Perspective on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. I hope to see you there. Bye!
A quest is a search for something. And every week, the Quest podcast will show you how we know what we know through interviews with people that have incredible stories of dedication and perseverance. I'm your host, Todd Fisher. Join me in this thought-provoking and inspiring podcast of discovery. Find us anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Cult Following is a podcast that studies the personalities and common traits of cult leaders and their followers. Get the real story behind these infamous and oftentimes tragic cults from a new perspective, through exhaustive research, and from interviews with people that were there. Available anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. Please be sure to rate and review this episode. This podcast is produced by Todd Fisher and Anthony Smith and is distributed by Metacortex Publishing. This podcast is copyright. Any previously trademarked or copyright content is used by permission. Information and opinions stated in this podcast should not be construed as medical advice. Please be sure to visit the official website for Metacortex Publishing at metacortexpublishing.com or find us on social media for other unique content.